I brought World War II vintage here.
You got it better than that. I didn't see that.
Nobody's
cool.
still here from
Where'd you get
World War
that?
II?
Looks good.
We've got 7.
Oh, it's okay. I just need it for this right here. We don't want the same mistake twice.
We've got 7 in the chamber now.
All right.
Still this.
Then it was gonna. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you to our regular meeting on June 6, 2019. Mr. Clerk, may we have roll call, please?
Ma'am. Dominic.
Present.
Lyndon Johnson. Jackson. Lynn.
Present.
Bowman. Cawthorn.
Present.
Gage Watt.
Present.
Middleton. Atkins. Chavez. Smith. Lewis Johnson.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. We will have our invocation by Commissioner John Atkins, and we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. Please silence your cell phones and stand.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for our many blessings. Please help us to always be mindful of those less privileged around us. Please help us to always be kind and generous and patient. Thank you for our soldiers and sailors and airmen and our first responders. Thank you for all the caring citizens in our community. And thank you for all the people here around Caddo Parish that do their best to make our lives better in our community. Please give us grace and mercy and faith. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's face the flag, military, veterans, and active duty, hand the brow and all others, right hand over your heart. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners Atkins and Lyndon B. Johnson. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, next agenda additions. I have no cards.
I have none either.
Next we move to citizen comments.
Okay, citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer and return to the president or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. Note, citizens who wish to address the commission on matters relative to public hearings, items listed on the agenda only will be limited to a cumulative total of 15 minutes each, for or against an issue. Those who wish to speak or make presentation are asked to select their speakers and address the points they wish considered with this limitation in mind. I have no cards, Mr. Clerk. Do you have any?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, next item, please.
We have no visitors. We move to special resolutions. Special recognition of D-Day anniversary and World War II veterans.
Okay. Do we have any here, Commissioner Middleton?
Are there any World War II veterans or people in their 80s and 90s in the audience? Okay. Well, when I considered this, I considered myself only being 64. It's easy for me to get up here still. Okay. I did speak to a couple folks, and they'd like to be here, but they're just not physically able to get here. We spoke with the war veterans home yesterday, and they gave us a number of names, and I appreciate Michelle this morning. It's just a hard thing to be able to get a hold of people on the phone these days. So we do have a little presentation here from the PBS broadcast the other night from the National Mall that occurred on Memorial Day. So roll.
This year marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day, a day that changed the course of history. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces launched what they hoped would be the decisive blow against the tyranny that had virtually extinguished democracy in Europe. It was the greatest combination of sea, land, and air power in history. At stake, the fate and lives of tens of millions. June 4th, 1944. The world had been at war for 5 years. Fighting rages on 3 continents and 4 oceans with no end in sight. Democracies across Europe fall to the unstoppable Nazi blitzkrieg. Devastation wrecks the landscape. Entire populations are reduced to starvation or annihilation. Bombs rain down on London in a never-ending blitz. spreads across the Pacific. Blood stains beaches red from Guadalcanal to the Philippines. Seeking a breakthrough, Allied commanders strategized an all-out European assault to destroy Adolf Hitler's war machine. Code name, Operation Overlord. General Dwight D. Eisenhower assumes command. A 50-mile stretch of the Normandy coast in northern France is chosen for the invasion. Hitler orders beaches across France to be reinforced with gun emplacements and lethal obstacles to repel the anticipated assault. The early hours of June 6th, 1,200 planes launch an airborne attack. Paratroopers descend in waves behind enemy lines. 5,000 ships carrying 160,000 troops begin the largest amphibious landing ever undertaken. It's an all-or-nothing mission. 85% of the assembled fighting force has never seen combat. General Eisenhower sends them into battle with these words.
The Eisenhower are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you.
The task of securing the eastern half of Omaha Beach, the most heavily defended sector, falls to the men of the 1st Infantry Division of the U.S. Army, the Big Red One. Among the few men with battle experience is a 24-year-old medic named Ray Lambert, already awarded 2 Silver Stars and 3 Purple Hearts for his bravery in North Africa and Sicily. Here to tell Sergeant Lambert's story is this year's Academy Award nominated actor, Sam Elliott.
We were headed to Omaha Beach, and I was glad. After all the fighting in Africa and Sicily, I just wanted to get this war over with. It was daylight on the 6th. I went up on deck and found my brother Bill there. We talked about our chances and what our parents would think. About 6 a.m. the signal came to go to stations. My brother and I promised whoever survived would take care of the other's family. And we shook hands and went our separate ways. I climbed down the nets and got into the Higgins boat with my unit. On the way in, we could hear the battleships firing and see the big shells landing ahead of us. Guys were getting sick and vomiting from the choppy water and the diesel fumes. As we got in closer, the Germans had a bird's eye view of us coming in. We picked up machine gun fire. The bullets clanged against the metal ramp of the boat like hail. Then the big 88s on the hill opened up. Every time a shell whistled overhead, all you could hear was the sound of a banshee screaming. Boats around us were burning. I saw men on fire. Even their shoes were on fire. Dead and wounded were floating in the water. We had orders not to stop and pick anyone up. I told my men, when the ramp drops, hit the water hard and keep as low as you can to dodge the bullets. We sank up over our heads. That was the last time I saw most of them. 31 men jumped off that boat. Just 7 of them made it to the beach. The only cover was a block of concrete the Germans had failed to clear. That's where I set up a collection point for the casualties. Mates were trained not to dig in. We were there to see the troops, and for them to see us. I detailed Corporal Raymond Lapour to hunker down and treat the men while I brought in the injured. Ray and I had been together since '39. I knew I could count on him. It was total confusion. Shells exploding, boats blowing up, people yelling because they couldn't hear anything. Machine gun bullets hitting the water all around you. The roar of the boats coming in. It's like you're all alone in a world of 1 million people, because you're concentrating on what you have to do. Hadn't gone far when I felt a bullet go through my right arm. I just kept going. I was thinking of only one thing, getting to the men who needed me. There was a soldier laying right on the edge of the water. One arm was almost shot off. Every time a wave would come in, that arm would be pulled back out to sea, and he'd try to reach out for it. The first thing you're supposed to do is keep a wounded man from going into shock. But he was too far gone. Nothing I could do for him. He died in my arms. I was on my way to treat another soldier when a piece of shrapnel the size of my hand tore a hole in my left thigh. I put a tourniquet on it, gave myself a shot of morphine, and went back to work. You did the job you were trained to do. If you didn't, you died. I could feel my right arm going numb from the first bullet. Saw a guy struggling in chest-deep water. Grabbed him with my good arm just as a Higgins boat rolled in and dropped its ramp. The ramp hit me right in the back, crushed 2 vertebrae, and pushed us both to the bottom. That's when I started talking to the one guy I knew could help me. I said, God, I've asked you many times, but just give me another chance. Let me save one more person. And for some reason, that boat raised its ramp and backed out. Somehow I managed to drag his boat to safety. I told Corporal Lapore he'd have to take my place. He stood up, and then he just collapsed against my shoulder. His helmet fell off, and I saw the hole right in the center. Everything went black after that. The next thing I knew, I was on a boat going back inland. The Navy doctor looked at my dog tags and he told me, we have another Lambert here. My brother's Bill's stretcher was put right next to mine on a dock at Weymouth. He'd been on the beach with G Company. We went to the hospital in the same ambulance. When I woke up, he was on the cot next to me. He looked over and said, what are you doing here? Same thing you are, I told him. And he said, oh God, now what's mother gonna think? We both made it out okay. He'll never be 92. People who have never been in a war should understand what soldiers give up. The guys we left on Omaha Beach never had a chance to live the lives they dreamed of. Day hasn't gone by when I haven't prayed for the men we lost and their families. I still wake up at night sometimes thinking about the guys. Every man that walked into those machine guns and that artillery fire on Omaha Beach that day, every man was a hero. What kind of person would I be if I didn't tell their stories?
I'd like to thank my fellow commissioners for indulging me to show this video. I think it's appropriate. This is just one of those really, really special years for them. We do have some WW2 vets still residing here in Shreveport, and if you know one, call them up, try to take them something, you know, a Coca-Cola or something. It's a great bunch of people, folks. During the Allied forces that went in on D-Day, it was 150,000 total Allied forces. And I think the American losses, or the Allied losses that day, were like 9,500. And I've been to the cemetery there, and it's very impressive. It's almost, this one's about equal as impressive as Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. It gives you the same kind of feel. But again, I thank you. Anybody that's picking this up on Facebook, tell your World War II veteran, give them a hug. Or if you want me to come there and give them a hug, just give me a call. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Middleton. And I'll make the motion to pass this special resolution of recommendation and commendation for 75th anniversary of D-Day.
Second.
Okay, and it's been moved by the chair and it was seconded by Commissioner Middleton. Please vote.
Mr. Dominic? Mr. Lynn? Mr. Lynn, try your button again, please.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
And that passes 9-0. Thank you so much for sharing, Commissioner Middleton.
Thank you.
Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have special resolution of recognition and commendation to Miss Jalen Pickens. Commissioner Jackson has asked that be postponed to July.
Move to postpone to July.
Second.
Okay, it was moved by Commissioner Dominic and that was seconded by Commissioner Mike Middleton. Please vote. And that passes 9-0. Next
we have
item, Mr. Clerk.
Special resolution of recognition recognizing Miss Tawny Johnson.
Okay, please stand.
In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, a resolution of recognition to Miss Dr. Tawny J. Johnson. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission notes with interest and satisfaction the significant events that occur in the lives of citizens who have made significant and lasting contributions to the Parish of Caddo and to the larger community. And whereas such an individual is Dr. Tawny J. Johnson, who received the Distinguished Service Award from Inner Baptist Theological Seminary. And whereas Dr. Johnson is a native of Caddo Parish and is a graduate of Bethune High School. And whereas Dr. Johnson is deeply involved in the community, working with the parish, city, and state to help make a difference. She works as the public relations liaison for Winfield Funeral Home, and for 27 years she has served the community in this capacity. She was also a team member, along with Commissioner Gage Watts and Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, of the 2016 Stop the Violence movement. And whereas because of her appreciation in the value of education and ministry, she received an honorary doctoral degree of distinguished service from Inner Baptist Theological Seminary, Incorporated. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission the 6th day of June 2019 that it does hereby heartily congratulate and commend Dr. Tawny J. Johnson in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, calling upon all citizens to note this special occasion with a sense of appreciation and gratitude. Signed, Stormy Gage Watts, President, Mario Chavez, Vice President.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen T. I call her Queen T affectionately. We just really appreciate everything that you do in the community, and I believe in giving you your flowers while you yet live. So I brought you here today to celebrate you, and I hope that you enjoy this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts and the commissioners. Thank you.
Commissioner Carter.
Next we move to special resolution.
is on the board.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Carthorne?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to publicly say to Dr. Johnson, congratulations
I want to be held to that motto I live by in life, being able to give people their flowers while they're living. So I'm glad I'm afforded this opportunity to be able to share this with you and say congratulations to you while you live and breathe among us. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Carthorne. See no other commissioners on the board, I'll make a motion for this special resolution to Dr. Tani Johnson. It's moved by the chair and second by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. Please vote. And that passes 10-0.
Next, we move to special resolution of remembrance to Jennifer Ashley Mitchell Carter.
If you would at this time, please stand in a moment of silence as this resolution is being read.
In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, resolution of recognition and remembrance to Jennifer Ashley Mitchell Carter. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission pauses with sadness and regret to reflect upon the untimely passing of Jennifer Ashley Mitchell Carter, who went to meet her Heavenly Father on May 27, 2019. And whereas Ashley was born in Caddo Parish on April 16, 1985, where she graduated from Caddo Parish Magna High School 2003. And whereas Ashley was a 2007 honor graduate of Louisiana State University College of Arts and Sciences, where she earned a bachelor degree in political science, a 2011 honor graduate of Southern University Nelson Mandela School of Public Policy, where she earned a master's degree in political science, as she also earned a Juris Doctorate at Southern University Law School. And whereas Ashley had currently served as a staff attorney for the Senate Governmental Affairs Committee, along with serving as the executive director of the Louisiana Black Caucus and the Louisiana Black Caucus Foundation. And whereas Ms. Mitchell Carter, a founding partner at Pearson & Mitchell, LLC in Baton Rouge, has proven herself a leader in the community. Ashley served and led countless community, legal, philanthropic, political, and social committees throughout the state of Louisiana during her short term on this earth. Ashley also never forgot her roots in Caddo Parish. Annually, she would do a turkey giveaway in low-income areas in Shreveport, where thousands of pounds were distributed throughout the area. In every moment, Jennifer Ashley Mitchell Carter has made a difference. Now therefore be it resolved that Ashley's memories will forever be cherished by all who loved and knew her. She is survived by her husband Charles Carter and mother Gail Mitchell. Now be it further resolved that the Caddo Parish Commission does hereby express its deepest sense of sorrow and loss upon the passing of Jennifer Ashley Mitchell Carter, conveying herein its most sincere expression of sympathy and condolences to her family and friends, who can be comforted in the knowledge of her lasting contributions and achievements. Signed, Stormy Gage Watts, President; Mario Chavez, Vice President; Lyndon B. Johnson, District 2; Gerald Bowman, District 5; Stephen Jackson, District 3.
Thank you. You may be seated. I move that this special resolution of recognition be received and
Second.
recorded as read.
Second.
And it's been moved by the chair, and that was seconded by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. Please vote. Please keep her husband and her mother in our prayers. Thank you. And that passes 10-0. Thank you for your support. We'll make sure that they get this for the services this weekend.
Next, we have a special resolution of recognition to retiring Assistant Administrator Randy M. Lucky. This is to insert into the record, so we just need a vote.
So move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson, and that was second by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne. See no discussion, please vote.
Thank y'all for a wonderful retirement reception. It's great.
And that passes 10-0.
Next, we move to adopt the regular session
So
minutes
moved.
for May 23rd.
I have a substitute motion. Before we adopt these regular session minutes, I would like to do my president's report before that.
Do we need to make a motion to do that? I'll make
Suspend.
a motion to suspend the rules to allow the president's report at this time.
Second.
Okay, thank you. It's being moved by Commissioner Doug Dominic, and that was second by Commissioner Mike Middleton. Thank you. And the reason why I wanted to, is there any objection before I begin to speak? Thank you. Before, I wanted to do my president's report before I actually adopted those minutes, because I think I have some important information in here. I'll begin out by saying that on Monday, when I was here, I came in with a horrible headache. And it's all my fault because it was so bad that I could hardly see. But my dedication to this job, I pressed on anyhow. I heard the commissioner ask for a printout of the vote and said it'll be back. But nevertheless, I just wanted to get through the meeting so I could get something and lie down. After the meeting, I received a call from the commissioner who proposed this resolution and said, I didn't know that there was any opposition there. And there were 2 who abstained. So with that being said, I said, okay, well, my vote is in support of this. He says, okay, I'll inform Todd. And if there's any other wording, et cetera, I'm willing to print it out and, change it. And I said, okay, great, thanks. I assumed that that would be the end. However, and unfortunately, that same printout ended up on Facebook. I'm not sure what day it ended up on there. I'm assuming that it was on Wednesday. I don't know. All I know that there was a stranger who tagged me in a post. And I just happened to be logged in because I don't always do Facebook. So I'm thinking, this is spam. I'll report it. Nevertheless, it was that printout that had been shared, and it was demanding an explanation of my vote. As I read, it was manipulated, and it was primed with incorrect information. I was called a blackface by another black woman. That's unacceptable, and just as deplorable as the statements that has been made to each of us about being seen naked in a doghouse. If I had been said, that statement was said to me by a white individual, it would be on CNN by now. We must be careful when we respect so much more from another race, but we don't expect the same responsibility from our own race. I was even told that it was my desire to kill it from the beginning because I asked a question. Well, obviously, I allowed the commissioner to state his case at any time, sometimes even out of order, when I had every right to use this gavel. The thing that shook me to my core is who I represent. I don't just represent blacks or whites or men or women, boy or girl. I represent all people. I cannot and will not be bullied to vote in any certain way. I'm black, you see that. And I would never disenfranchise my own race or play the games that some people do. I don't take credits for anything up here as a solo move. Anyway, for the public record, let it be known that my vote is yes for this resolution. That is asking City Council to place a moratorium on payday loans and pawn shop locations in economically depressed areas in question, which may very well be serving as providing the additional income that that person needs until their next paycheck, or prevent them from stealing to get it. That pawn shop in question could also be that same place that someone can't afford to purchase the TV that they want. All of these are hypothetical questions. Nevertheless, let it be also known that Caddo Parish has no authority to approve this process in city government. As MPC director stated, that UDC already has guidelines to control these type of businesses, as well as duplication of others within a certain mile radius. It is in my right to ask any question, just as others have the same right to ask questions and support it or not. However, just as countless resolutions that I've introduced co-sponsored, and supported. To ask other governmental entities by request or urging them to look at what the majority of this organization recommends is something that I've often advocated for support by saying, listen, let us reason about this. This may be the only time that they'll get to look at this. Also, the normal protocol for abstain vote is to state that cause. I was unaware that there were 2 abstentions. So I did not ask for a statement at that time because I was unaware that anyone had abstained. If this is true, Mr. Clerk, I'm asking that at the appropriate time that we need to have those statements during that period, whether it be under old business or the corrections of these minutes. Though I'm not predictable, I've never voted against anything to help improve the lives of any citizens in Caddo Parish, especially in an area with proven economic disparities. Unlike some who will not raise their hand in special committees or conveniently be absent or leave out to keep from casting votes, that's not my reputation. You've hardly ever seen my seat empty, and I've never been timid about voting my convictions. If and when this occurs again without me stating why I'm voting against or for an agenda item, I encourage you to feel free to ask me, did I mean to vote that way? I have done it for many of you in the past. I felt that it was deemed necessary to make a public statement about what happened over the last few days. And that is the reason why I wanted to move this president report up at this time. With that being said, the next item on my president's report is to say thank you to the local AFL-CIO delegates, Central Trades Labor Union, for having me as their keynote speaker for their luncheon. It was a privilege to share with individuals who will reach over 20,000 citizens throughout the region. They were very thankful for my speaking presentation on some of the parish's positive accomplishments, as well as some of our goals for 2019. It was a pleasure bragging on my colleagues and meeting some great people and catching up with many of my constituents. In the last few months, I've received many accolades about my courage and leadership, and I want to publicly thank you all for those letters, the notes in the hand, a word of encouragement, a pat on the back through personal contact. When people are nice, they don't have to be nice to you, and I just want to say that I publicly appreciate you. One bad apple might be in the bunch, but I'll never stop producing fruit. There has been the utmost respect for my colleagues during any meetings and anything that I represent for Caddo Parish, and I think I deserve the same in return. We will not make this organization look like anything less than 12 individuals handling business and have a welcome sign in our hands that we're open for business. There's only one way to evolve as a community, and that is by coming together even when we disagree to agree. Thank you.
This time we would need a motion to go back into regular session.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Doug Dominic and second by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. Please vote. And that passes 10-0.
Time adopt the regular session minutes from May 23rd.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, do I need to make that correction at this time?
That's the work session minutes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is from the May meeting. So when we get to that part.
This is not from May. I'm sorry, from June. You said this is May's meeting?
Right, this is the
Okay.
May regular session meeting.
Okay, May 31st. Okay. Please vote May 23rd. And that passes 10-0.
Next we move to communiques and committee reports, administration response, information requests.
Dr. Wilson.
Yeah, we don't have anything today at all.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wilson and Attorney Frazier, for requesting the information that I asked for on today. And I'll look forward to seeing those things fully executed. Thank you for your prompt responses. Henri, is Henri here?
Yes. It's right there.
Come up, please. Hi, Director Wesley.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any upcoming events with dates planned for our Super Safe Saturdays?
Well, we have this Saturday coming up is, we just had, Father's Day. The Father's Day 5K run is this Saturday. Also, we're working with Juvenile with their health fair this Saturday at the fairground at the Ad Center.
Okay.
The main one there coming up.
Both
we
of
have
those
other
are
ones that we haven't gotten with the people and got them set yet because Ms. Martinez, we at the basketball camp, we're going to work with them also this year.
Okay. So we have 2 this weekend scheduled, both at the fairgrounds?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to touch bases with you about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Directors Clark and Samuel. Either one of you. I know y'all been busy with chickens.
Looking good, man. Dressed up today.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, thank you. I just want to thank you both for addressing the concerns and complaints from the citizens in that area that I reported to you. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just wanted to personally thank you for constantly keeping me informed of any new developments. I appreciate all that you do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Robert Glass here? Tim Weaver?
Tim's is still in vacation.
You have to settle for
You're
Mr. Moore
gonna
today.
have to
Hey,
settle
Ken.
for Mr. Ken. He don't have
Well,
his
you
shirt
probably
on.
won't know
Had
the
that loud
answer to
shirt
this,
on today.
Mr. Ward.
Sorry, Ms. President, you're
Hi.
scraping the bottom of the barrel today.
Thank you. I'll take you.
Thank you.
You're great. I wanted to know what was the status of a complaint on Fernwood.
I will find out about it. I'm not familiar with it. Can you give me a little details about it real quick?
Well, there were several complaints in that area about an open field, and it was kind of going back and forth between the city, the parish, and SWEPCO of who it belongs to. They were having some issues with criminal acts in that area
Yes.
as well as the grass.
Yes, we've actually placed an order with SWEPCO. SWEPCO has sent somebody out, and they've actually placed an order to do some clearing and grubbing out in that area to alleviate some of that.
Okay.
So that is progressing, and SWEPCO's got it, and they're going to work on it.
Okay. Are you aware of any contractors being dispatched to the areas along I-220 where the grass is like you can't see the other side?
Have
of
not,
the
but
interstate?
I'll inquire. I know the state contract has been let. Contractors have been working. I've seen them in other locations for the state, but I'm not familiar with that. I'll reach out to DOT and find out for you.
Thank you. And if it haven't, I'll make a request that we take care of that area.
I got you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Director Clay Walker. We touched a little bit on the community fair that Juvenile Services will be providing on Saturday. Will you give us some insight on it, please?
Yes, ma'am, I will, and you all should have a flyer that we passed out. This Saturday, June 8th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., it is at the Agricultural Building at the State Fairground. It's going to have a lot of different services that families, medical services. It's going to have about 30 local agencies. We've got free food for folks. So for families to come out, particularly with young kids, if they want to learn about any opportunities in the community for recreation, for any kind of problems they're having, medical or mental health, we'll have agencies there.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay. My last item is that the date for the expungement seminar is tentatively set for Thursday, August 1st, and that will be at the Ag Building at the Louisiana State Fairgrounds. If you're interested in serving, please contact me or Krista Grindley. The next meeting is slated for June 17th at 1:30 on the 8th floor. And then followed by the Juvenile Justice Committee at 2 p.m. back downstairs. Thank you. Commissioner Matthew Lynn.
Yes, first I want to thank Facilities and Maintenance. I had a constituent call me about a tree that was growing between joint property lines between the parish and their property, and Facilities and Maintenance came by and really did a quick service. They were there in hours, I think. Anyway, thank you so much. Also, I'm curious, do we all have paperwork on the Safe Saturdays? I haven't received any notice on that, and who do I get with? Dr. Wilson or?
Yes, sir. If you have an event you want to do in the district, just let us know and we'll help coordinate it.
Okay, I'm letting you know, and the same as what we did last year.
On running
With Animal Services, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, I had sent an email to Attorney Frazier. Attorney Frazier, will you explain the process to discount a building that the parish owns when we sell it in anticipation of future job growth, and where we are with the Selver building?
Commissioner, what we do is make sure that the sales price is the appraised price of the building. And then from that price, you can discount it for job credits. In the case of the Selver building, that price was discounted by approximately $189,000 with the expectation of them placing 70 jobs there. If they did not place those jobs there, the jobs were valued at $2,500 each. And if they did not place the jobs there and have them last for 2 years, which would have been to the end of 2018, then they would pay the parish $2,500 per each job not placed. They ended up placing only 10 of the 70 that lasted 2 years, so they returned $162,000 to the parish. And it went back into the funds where the initial proceeds of the purchase were placed.
Okay, and so we have received $162,000.
Yes, sir, that was done in January.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Todd, don't forget to get the information for that information list that you said that you had. If you could get that to me. Also wanted to announce that this Saturday, Henri has already touched on it, the Father's Day run. Clay has already touched on the health fair. And then once you finish that, please come see me at the Gentleman's Cooking Classic. I'll be serving up spaghetti and meat. I'm just playing. I'll be serving peach cobbler and ice cream. So this is a great event that supports Southern University Shreveport. I slave all day and night to make this ice cream and the peach cobbler. So make sure I use all local ingredients. I prioritize local ingredients, and so John, I'll save you a bowl and a scoop as well. I did get your text message, but that'll take place at the convention center. And again, it's a great effort to raise funds for Southern University of Shreveport through their Southern University Foundation. Again, we want to thank. I'd like to thank the legislature for adopting House Concurrent Resolution 2426. And I had a good conversation with with Chancellor Pierre on Monday, and he's looking forward to making a visit to Shreveport so that we can take the next steps toward the process. And it's not going to be a quick process, but he's excited, and the folks at the Board of Regents are excited as well. And we just want to thank our legislature. I know we didn't do a legislative lunch ahead, or do you know if we're going to do like a legislative appreciation afterwards? Because we've got. And so I just something to think about, just maybe a reception or something.
Commissioner Jackson, we didn't do luncheon because of participation.
Right, they typically don't. So I don't know if we want to do a reception after hour thing. Who knows? Just want to do something to at least show our appreciation to them. And they both passed unanimously without any objection. And that's a testament to the work that we've done here. If you are interested in affordable housing within this area, there's a housing expo on next Saturday, June 15th. We'll have developers, We'll have lenders, we'll have all type of individuals. There are even gonna be folks from Lowe's and Home Depot doing exhibitions on remodeling and renovation and rehab projects. And that will take place June 15th. This is in partnership with the city of Shreveport, HUD, the Parish of Caddo, the Housing Authority, Providence House, Red River Bank, Bancorp South, Carter Federal Credit Union. So a lot of folks who have stepped up to provide this. And so please, if you will, I'll send an email to you, Todd, so send a flyer so we can send it out. Dr. Wilson, I don't know if we can post something online as well about it, since we are a partner and sponsor in this, about the Housing Expo, to make sure that the general public know. The other thing I wanted to ask, I remember Mr. Colvin coming down, and I did not get to ask him. So Dr. Wilson, if you could follow up with them, that information channel, is it back up and running? Because I know a lot of seniors who are typically at home, they don't get out or use social media. They relied on that for their source of information. I know at one point we had discussed Booker T. Washington doing a partnership to run it, and they were open to it. If we could just kind of get that back up, that community information page, and reignite that conversation. Todd, we spoke briefly about this before the meeting. I remember we had a conversation about folks walking over in the back. Do we need to have a standing chamber committee to discuss that? I know Commissioner Johnson, maybe a year or so ago, we talked about folks just wandering around in the back. Not people who are here for committee meetings, but folks just walking into the break room without any credentials. I know we discussed that at one point, and we thought we had an understanding, but it seems to be getting loose again. So I don't know if we
want to
need
make it part of our bylaws. It's something that can be added to the bylaws.
some rules where they need to at least have a parish badge or something. And I'm not talking about the common area where folks are back here. I'm talking about in our mailbox room and in the break room, in the kitchen and stuff. It's just some kind of boundary. I don't know. I just remember us having that conversation, and it seems to be going back. So thank you, and that concludes my comments.
Thank you. Commissioner Mike Middleton.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I kind of got stepped to the side there when Commissioner Jackson mentioned cobbler and ice cream, and so it kind of threw me off there.
I'm sorry.
But main thing is, I want to congratulate Caddo Parish Animal Services on their cockfighting ring that they did away with, and I'm asking them to advise us if there's any way we can engage Crime Stoppers to let us know where there's dog fighting, any other kind of illegal activities. And I'm hoping Dr. Wilson will work with them on that and see what we can do to engage them to try to encourage people to come forward with all this kind of trash. Okay, but again, congratulations to all the CPAS staff on a job well done. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Doug Dominic.
Yeah, I just wanted to say kind of the same thing. Travis, appreciate y'all's hard work. I know that was in my district. I'm sure it was a lot of work, and thanks for y'all's collaboration with the other law enforcement agencies. So keep up the good work. Andre, you don't have to come up. Just wanted to tell you that I sent an email to Doug Rainwater the other day. He's supposed to forward it to you concerning that issue that I was talking to you a few days ago that Commissioner Lewis Johnson and I are trying to get. I think you were out of town that day, so just get a chance to look at that and get back in touch with me, okay? Thank you.
That's it, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. Couple of things to let the other commissioners know. On August 3rd, looking to have a safe summer event in District 2. We're putting that together right now. So try not to schedule that date because it's already on the books. On May 31st, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority gave us an award for our participation and helping them in their educational scholarship fund.
Thank you, Don.
And on June the 10th through June the 27th, Jerry Tim Brooks Golf Course, they'll be having junior golf training camps for ages 7 to 17. One-time registration fee is $60, and it's at the Jerry Tim Brooks Golf Course. at 2200 Malin Street. This is an opportunity to get youngsters participating in golf, something that I play when I get time. Most of the time I don't have time to play, but I try to get out there and play at least once or twice a year. But it's something that youth could do, and they can play this game until they're in their senior age. So it's nothing that will be too strenuous on them, like contact sports. So let's get our kids involved in playing some golf. Thank you, Madam President.
Mr. Johnson, if you'll sponsor one student, I will too.
You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner John Atkins.
Thank you, Madam President. Ken, I just want, no need to get up. I'm just going to say thanks for your work, and Dr. Wilson for sitting down with the city and trying to find a resolution to the Southern Loop Wallace Lake Road intersection. And I ask you all to please keep that high on our priority, and let's push that through. We've been looking at that for quite a while now. I just want to make sure it stays on the radar screen, high on the radar screen. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, Dr. Wilson, I know we had talked Monday about encouraging our summer workers to volunteer. I got a thank you letter from a couple of them, and they were looking for some volunteer opportunities. So if we could, just maybe in our next commission meeting report, maybe give some type of update. Again, I know we can't mandate it right now, but if we could at least encourage them to volunteer in some of the activities that we have. I hear a lot of projects that are going on in the summer months that they could get out and volunteer in this community. I think it's great anytime we can expose our young people to volunteer opportunities. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we move to public hearing on zoning ordinances and cases. Ordinance number 5879 of 2019 in regards to case 19-300-9, the Caddo Parish Uniform Development Code by amending the zoning of property located on the southwest corner of Williamson Way and Union Pacific Line from RE Residential Estate District to I-1 Light Industrial District.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Okay. No, I need to ask first, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5879? And then we'll take the motion from Commissioner Jim Smith. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5879?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bill Gallardo. I'm the developer of the 15 megawatt solar project. It's over there on Williams Way. I forgot my picture, but anyway, it's a beautiful piece of property. It's almost been designed for a solar farm because on one side you have the sewage water area in the back corner. On the 70-something acres, you have transmission lines going through it. And there's really nothing you can do with this property, and there's a substation on the corner. So we're actually going to be bringing it back into commerce, I guess you could say, because there's really nothing else you could do with this property. Nobody would want to live with a subdivision. You can't put it because you have transmission lines. You know, nobody wants to move out there. So we developed it and made 15 megawatts of solar. We're going to be able to bring it back into commerce. It will be generating tax dollars for the city and the parish of Caddo.
Okay.
It's clean, mean, and green. It has no ill effects to anybody in the parish. Any questions?
No, sir. I see Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
How tall is the solar panels?
Actually, they're going to be on trackers. They're 2x4. So, you know, we're going to have them on a racking system. They're not going to be tall at all. I mean, they're 2x4. They're going to be off the ground. We're going to put, you know, poles in the ground. They may be about 6 feet off the ground. You know, I mean, you don't want it to flood.
Right, okay.
You know.
It's similar to what I've seen in some airports.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually going to be beautiful.
We can't, point of order, we can't be speaking at this time. This is a public hearing. Whenever we get ready to vote,
Right.
you can ask questions then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can ask questions after the
I didn't think so.
opposition.
I think so.
No, we can't. I mean, during the public hearing, they
That's fine.
speak for yea or nay.
That's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's our rule, I think.
I'm sorry, you.
Yes, we're
Yeah, it
looking
don't
at
matter.
you.
No,
It don't
right,
matter.
you
Really
don't
should be
get to dialogue during this part. You get to ask them to come back
Right.
up during the, vote.
Okay.
Just couldn't time.
Were you done with your statement, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Delago?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think you probably will be coming back up, so stay close because I see another commissioner on the board as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5879, 2019? I see none. I declare this public hearing on ordinance number 5879 closed.
Next, we move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5880, amending section 30-52 of the Code of Ordinances relative to regulation of non-industrial waste, garbage, and junk to include property in violation of Chapter 30, Article 2, dilapidated and dangerous buildings and structures.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5880? Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5880? I see none. I declare this public hearing on ordinance number 5880 closed.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5881, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund in the amount of $20,000 to provide an appropriation for the Small Business Development Center.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5881? Is there anyone here to speak against ordinance number 5881? I see none. I declare this public hearing on ordinance number 5881 closed.
And next, we move to zoning ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5879 of 2019 in regards to case 19-300-9, amending the zoning of property located on the southwest corner of Williamson Way and Union Pacific Line.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Jim Smith, and that was second by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. And I see Commissioner Stephen Jackson on the board.
Yeah, I'm just going to Globo to adopt ordinance number 5879, ordinance number 5880, or ordinance number 5881.
Second.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson and
anybody-
second by Commissioner Mike Middleton.
And if anybody would like to ask
Commissioner
questions about any
Atkins?
particular one.
Would you like to add 5882?
82. That's just for introduction.
That's,
Yeah.
that's introduction only.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayor, thank you. And I'm fine with the motion, Commissioner Jackson, but I will note, I'll just make an observation that sometimes we get pretty aggressive with our englobos and include things that might have 5 or 8 or 10. This is not the case here. And, you know, some of us, it's hard for some of us to keep up. It's hard for those in the audience to keep up, and that's really what I'm concerned about. So I'll just ask that we consider having some constraint on englobos as we move forward. Stated with all due respect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Doug Dominic.
Yeah, can someone, I don't know if it's Lyndon, can y'all explain 5880 a little bit? I looked at it the other day and would it be you?
I can.
Oh, is there just that one Henry?
Yeah, it's just that one change that's right there. But basically what it is we voted to demolish this particular piece of property. But it's becoming an eyesore with the tall grass, weeds, which is another ordinance. And the ordinance doesn't include commercial property, it only includes residential property. So this will also make it include commercial property that has been voted to be demoed.
Is this in the condemnations or where is Henry?
Right there.
Henry is back there. But
Can you tell me?
What's your specific question, Commissioner?
Well, so the question is, I see this, it says, however, the premises of any building or structure which is subject of an order to demolish, repair, shall not be excluded. So what all is that talking about?
What that's doing, Commissioner, is that right now on the grass cutting ordinance, the parish cannot go in and cut the grass on a commercial lot.
Uh-huh.
But if there were a commercial lot that had been already the subject of a property standards hearing where there was an order to demolish or seal or whatever, and that was taking a while to accomplish, then this would allow the parish to go through the grass cutting procedure that it normally goes through.
Okay,
So
so
it basically adds back to the coverage of the grass cutting ordinance any commercial lot that has been the subject, has already been before you all on the property standards violation.
So right now we're at C, areas to be excluded, commercial property, farmland, 5-acre tracts, blah, 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 business, and, which I had, put in there.
Sure.
However, the premises of any building or structure which is subject to, so if we had decided to condemn and demolish a commercial building.
Correct.
Then we would be able to also go in there and cut the grass and stuff. That's
Correct.
what the change is.
That's what the change
Okay.
accomplishes.
All right.
That's what the chapter 2 is. That's why the
But
reference
that's what
in
the
there.
addition is, so.
Correct.
That would, okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
understand
what I
now.
said. I
Thank
tried
you.
to put it in layman's terms. I know you wanted attorney's terms.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes I have to talk to Mr. Henry or Donna when I don't get to talk to him enough sometimes.
We sometimes can talk that special lawyer language.
Yeah, which is fine with me.
Just don't send me a bill. I know how lawyers are. Though. You wouldn't do that to me, though, would you?
Nah, I wouldn't do that to you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm fine. I'm ready to go.
Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to Commissioner Atkins. I don't do them global. I don't take them lightly. That's why somebody pulls something out, I'm always open to pulling something out. I tend to think that we do our work before we get here and not when we get here. We can move things a little bit more efficiently. So it's by no means a slight on anybody, no means to be a debate of contention or anything. I just like to, it's an efficient way. If we don't like it, we can remove it. But for me, I look over stuff, I call, I ask questions. If I have an issue about something, I pick up the phone and call that commissioner prior to the meeting and have my facts before I get here. If I have a question about something, then I ask that. So it's not to stifle or confuse anybody by any means. So just wanted to be clear on that. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner John Atkins.
Thank you. I appreciate that and respect that. I hope it, the fact that I've asked to show some restraint with our Englobo motions doesn't indicate or doesn't send a message that I haven't done my preparation ahead of time.
I didn't say that.
I know. I just wanted to make it clear that I'm certainly preparing ahead of time. I know everybody on the commission is preparing ahead of time, but there are others out there. I mean, some of us have done a nice job of making sure that our meetings are properly broadcasted and properly exposed to the public. And if people out there are going to try to follow, I think it just makes it easier to follow if we don't englobo too many things. This, again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. That's not the purpose here. I just truly just stated a concern I had about the way we operated.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lynn Carthorne.
Thank you, Madam President. To be terse, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Thank you.
Please vote. And that passes 10-0.
We might have to separate, break them up.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5882 of 2019 in regards to P8-19, amending the zoning of property located at the northeast corner of Acorn Street and Womack, Caddo, Parish, Louisiana, from RA Rural Agricultural Zoning District to RMHS Residential Manufactured Home Subdivision District. Next, we move to ordinance for introduction. Ordinance number 5883 of 2019, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the capital outlay fund in the amount of $55,976 to increase appropriation for the Pine Hill Road Bridge. Ordinance number 5884 of 2019, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund in the amount of $20,000 to provide an appropriation for Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Ordinance number 5885 of 2019 to amend Article 6 of Chapter 26 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo relative to Section 26-182, Schedule A, speed limits on Calumet Drive. Next, we move to work session minutes, June 3rd.
I move.
So move.
This is the one you need to.
Yes.
So I make the motion that we approve this as it is, and you can make a substitute motion, I guess.
Okay. I guess I'll second. It's been moved by Commissioner Dominic and second by the chair. Now I have a substitute motion to make the necessary adjustments and adopt it as read.
Okay, we're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to defer to legal because we've got a vote that was taken and it was
If we have,
concluded.
if you have a recorded vote, you can't change that by amending the minutes. Basically, what you would have had to have done if it had been noticed on that day was to have it reconsidered by someone on the prevailing side and then take the vote again. Even if you could do it, what it would do would be to place, assuming that it passed with that vote, would be to place it on the minutes for today, which you could not do because it has not had the proper notice. So
Okay.
it still has to come back.
So did, were there any abstentions on that vote?
There was one abstention, and I would say, Madam, I will pay more attention. If there is an abstention, I will call that out, because unless there is an explanation, you're gonna have to make a change. If you have an explanation for the abstention, that's one thing. But if there's not an explanation, the vote needs to be changed before it's recorded.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Dominic?
Can't she make it a part of the record or simply say that, you know, something to the effect that I would request that basically these current minutes reflect the ones we're about, you know, where we're at today.
It will
The
be-
current
It's
minutes will
already in
reflect
here.
that I actually meant to vote no or whatever.
That she's already done that in her report. That's already part of the minutes because she stated that earlier.
It will be part of today's minutes.
It'll be part of today's.
Yeah,
minutes.
that's what
Yes.
because you really can't change the votes or anything. The only thing you can really change is ask that, you know, there was a clerical error because Todd misspelled somebody's name or said something wrong. I guess that's what would be changed.
Right, but it will be part of today's minutes.
Okay, so I withdraw my substitute motion.
Okay.
Okay, please vote on the original motion.
And this is to approve.
The minutes.
The minutes,
Okay.
the work session minutes.
And that passes 10-0.
And just for the record, that, Mr. Jackson has already said that resolution will come back next meeting. Is that correct, Mr.? That was your intent?
I'll get with you on it.
Okay, good enough. Okay, next we move to resolutions. Resolution number 43, approving the issuance of not exceeding $4,029,000 of sales tax refunding bonds, Series 2019 in North Caddo Hospital Service District, Parish of Caddo,
So
State of
moved.
Louisiana.
Second.
Okay, it was moved by Commissioner Doug Dominic, and that was second by Commissioner Mike Middleton. Commissioner Jackson, are you on the board?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to englobo resolution number 43, resolution number 44, resolution number 45, resolution number 46, resolution number 48, and that's it.
Second. Not 49?
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson and second by Commissioner Matthew Lynn. Okay, Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
Todd, I do remember in our last term that it's fine to englobo, but we can't englobo in the work session and the regular session. It's sometimes that it has to be read.
Oh, well, it's
One of them.
Well, here's the deal. Our ordinances are read when I do by title. That's our reading. So we qualify during that time.
All right.
In the past, you're right, commissioners have said they don't want both times engloboed. They'd like one full reading beside the introduction.
Okay.
That's still y'all's choice.
So did we englobo these Monday?
Yes.
So-
Not all, but most.
All right, so I would ask the maker of the motion that we at least read these at least one time for the record. That's fine.
You want to make a substitute motion?
No, I just vote no.
Okay. That's it. Commissioner Justin. Commissioner Mike Middleton.
Thank you. I just want to make comments as far as the Flag Day one goes. That's pretty self-explanatory. Ask Ms. Grinley to get a Facebook post out to people and bring their old flags up here or take them to the sheriff's office and take care of that. And as far as the ATV safety stuff, just remind people, please, to wear the helmets, wear gloves, long pants, and boots that come across up above the heels. I get with you on that for safety, because I've been one that's been as guilty as anybody to jump on an ATV and think it's all safe. I've learned things that I want to be able to pass along to other people, and this is National ATV Safety Month. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Frazier.
I just want to make sure that there's a clarification as to englobo and adopt is the motion. Right. Okay, because I didn't hear adopt, so I want to make sure that that was in there. Also, too, if there is going to be a formal prohibition against engloboing in any of your, doing an englobo in any of your sessions, a prohibition, we need to put that in your bylaws.
Makes sense.
No one requested a prohibition. You'd say prohibition?
Yes.
Oh.
Prohibition of doing what we're talking about.
That's it, Attorney?
All I go is try to get us out of here.
I see no further discussion. Please vote. And that passes 9-1.
Next, we move to resolution number 49, proclaiming June as National PTSD Awareness Month in Caddo Parish.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's moved by Commissioner, I'm sorry, that was moved by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, and that was second by Commissioner Doug Dominic. Commissioner Lynn, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, I'm good. I mean, that ultimately this ties into D-Day awareness, and that the military that are living from that and other wars, some have issues that they need help with.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Please vote. And that passes 10-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
We have no old business. We move to new business. Confirm selection of the official journal.
Second.
So move to confirm Caddo Citizen as the official journal.
Okay, it
Second.
was moved by Commissioner Mike Middleton and second by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. I see, Commissioner Middleton, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, I would not. I'd just say this, today Stephen and I have agreed on more things than we have in the last 2 years, so it's all good.
So it must be the peach cobbler.
Commissioner Matthew Lynn.
Substitute motion to adopt the Shreveport Times as our
Second.
official journal.
Okay, we have a substitute motion on the floor from Commissioner Matthew Lynn, and that was second by Commissioner John Atkins, for the Shreveport Times as our official journal. Commissioner Matthew Lynn, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
I just got a point of clarification on the first motion. That's Caddo Citizen and the Shreveport Sun, because you only said Caddo Citizen.
Yeah, I just read what was in the title. Is the Sun included in this?
That's what it's on the
Okay,
agenda.
I just read the title.
Yeah, it's on the agenda, that's why you only said one.
I only see one on the
Oh, here it
agenda.
is, yeah.
I think he's talking about the line underneath the sentence.
Blue, yeah.
Let's
Oh,
see,
I
Commissioner
see it.
Johnson.
I see it.
So,
Okay,
I got confused.
Yeah.
all right.
thank you. Commissioner John Atkins.
I just feel that the Shreveport Times has a much larger circulation and would be of more benefit to the parish. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, on these items, are we allowed to vote more than once, or we're voting on the substitute motion and then the original motion?
You vote on the substitute motion first. If it garners a majority, it passes.
Okay?
But if you're voting no, you don't vote, correct? Or do
You
we?
can-
Up to the chair.
Well, in the past, that's how we have done it.
You can do
So, yeah, if you're in support of it, you vote, and if
Okay.
you're not in support of it, you don't vote. That's what we've done in the past.
Okay.
So
Okay.
no vote, no vote.
Right, no vote, no vote, and
Okay.
if you are supporting it, yes,
Which would be the same effect as having these two motions.
absolutely.
What's understood.
Protocol. Okay,
So a yes vote if you're voting for the Shreveport Times.
if you're voting for the Shreveport Times at this time, please vote.
Do we need to vote no?
Okay, we have 4 votes for that,
Now for the Caddo Citizen / Shreveport Sun.
okay? If you're voting for the Caddo Citizen, Shreveport Sun, please vote. And that passes with 6. So the Caddo Citizen Shreveport Sun is the confirmation of our official journal.
That's correct.
Okay, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we have communications and committee reports, second round.
Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Attorney Frazier, if you could look at into some information, just want to go back to our global conversation. If you could look into how do we establish a consent agenda, what's called a true consent agenda, where we can put, I guess, things that we feel are non-confrontational, some of these resolutions. My only goal in there global is to kind of move our meetings along. So yeah, if you could look at, it's called a consent agenda, and we can approve them and place them on consent and just approve that consent agenda as one big thing. And I think what would happen is at the work session, we would approve it to go on the consent agenda. That way there's no need for that. I believe the school board uses a consent agenda. So if you could do some research, not looking to do it next meeting or whatever, so take your time and looking at that, but just wanted to give us some options as we discuss how we do it in global. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Okay, it's working again. Commissioner John Atkins.
Thank you. With my suggestion regarding in globos, it's not a big deal to me. I just was suggesting maybe we think about it. I don't necessarily. I appreciate the
Way to
effort.
get it done, though.
So thank you. I just wanted to say it's no big deal, just something to consider.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
As much as conversation we've had on that global, we could have read everything and been done. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Doug Dominic.
I'm about to say things, don't worry.
Okay, my last comment is, Dr. Wilson, I forwarded you some information from Reuters Technology News, and it's just some information about BMW, Jaguar, and Land Rover jointly developing electric car parts. So if you get a chance, check that out and share it with our IDB. That's it for me. Mr. Clark, next item.
Citizen comments.
I have
I have no
none.
cards.
Move to adjourn.
Meeting
Let's say global
adjourned.
there. Always interesting.